incredible.
Pure gold.
Oh my God.
God, what a freaking
Cinema.
scene. Look at this.
Cinema.
Look at the two lesbians together.
Hey guys, I'm Element.
And I am Choco. And together we are the DYAD in the Force.
We have a party today for the Mando season finale. Now, as always, timestamps are in the description, so click that if you want to get straight into the reaction. Who do we got with us?
Oh, man, we got a big crew. Unfortunately, I did not get to hang out with this crew in London, but y'all did, which is also why you'll probably notice Element's voice sounds a little bit different. But let's have everyone introduce themselves. So who you are, where you can find your content. And this is it. This is the last day. So give me your hot take, your prediction. That way we can ridicule you when you are obviously going to be wrong. Let's go to Johnny first.
Hello, everyone. I am Marvelous Johnny. If you'd like to find me on any of my socials, just look for Marvelous Johnny, but make sure you spell Marvelous with 2 L's because I'm Canadian. And if you'd like my theory, I think that either Axe or Casca are the traitors. My money is more so on Casca. Hot take, I think season 1's way better than this one and season 2.
Okay, yes. So that's Marvelous with 2 L's because Canadians hold extra L's. David, how about you?
My healthcare says otherwise.
Oh, I am Xanatos1138 on all social medias. You can find me mostly on TikTok. My hot take or prediction is that Axe Woves is the spy because I don't want Casca, aka Sasha Banks, to be the bad guy.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Enough.
Movie Man.
All right. Well, I'm Movie Man Opinions. I'm here also representing On Second Thought. We run One with the Films. It's a podcast where we talk about all your favorite movies. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok as well as Twitter. My hot take is, or I guess my predictions are that, I don't think the armor is the spy. I think that probably I would go with Axe. I think that makes a lot of sense. Or it's the pirates that were on there. It's Space Pete and like the Space Snake. And so we're gonna have those guys all there. My hot take is that if they kill an IG droid again in a season finale, I'm gonna riot. I'm just
technically not again. It's the same one.
Okay, listen, John. You're on real thin ice here with your double L's. Listen, you and your double L's can okay, I can't swear, can get the front door out of here. Like, and so I am. But honestly, I'm really interested to see what they do here, and I think that Din. I'm gonna call it that. I think Din is gonna die. I don't think they're gonna kill Bo.
Okay. Weird question. I know how you feel about Grogu operating the corpse of IG, but remember the weird eyeball creature that was inside of a mech that was inside of another mech. Is that the same thing? Is that like a turducken of problematicness? What is that?
Here's the thing. So
We got a chicken duck. It's a weird thing.
I was about to say, was that
waiting
mech
for
like
the bushes of love.
I don't think that mech was an IG droid, thus meaning it's outside my domain. I am an advocate for IG droid representation and rights, which I feel has been sorely lacking. And the fact that I just think that we're really skipping past the fact that this IG droid's husk is being piloted around with. We don't know if there was a do not resuscitate. We don't know if there was a things there. Respect droids is all I'm saying.
Actually,
All I know is that if anything, his maker's protocol says that I have to be destroyed, which also is kind of odd that he blew up from the chest, which was the only thing intact. But we're gonna just skip right on past that, and just as clearly, so did Filoni and Favreau. But so anyway, with this, to answer your question, I think it falls into a similar camp, except I don't think that the eyeball creature was the pinnacle of morality that we're kind of seeming to make the Grogu character. I think that we were supposed to find that creepy and unnerving. So that's where I draw the line there. So yeah, thank you for your astute observation and also just keeping me in my obviously my advocacy work in this discussion. I really appreciate it. You know, IG Droid Fan Club. If y'all want to follow me, it's on Twitter somewhere, I'm sure.
All right, I appreciate it. And if it makes you feel any better, I don't think he's going to die twice because he already died a second time when they crushed him with the statue. This would be the third time. Anyways, Tia, how about you?
All right, guys, this has been fun.
Tate?
Too much.
All right, guys.
It's
So,
our throats.
my name is Star Wars Tia. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok under that name, and Instagram is Cuddy Skywalker. And I also think that probably X is the spy, and Thrawn is gonna make an appearance and kick Gideon's ass because that's what I would love to see. So that's what I'm hoping. So yeah.
All right. I'm kind of in the same camp, and I'm hoping to see edits of I came in like a wrecking ball to Thrawn entering. How about you, JJ?
Hi, good morning, guys. It's really early, so bear with me. JJ, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram under Lady Dragon JJ handle. My prediction is same as Carrie's. I think Thrawn's going to show up. I think he's going to dispose of Moff Gideon. I don't think Bo-Katan or Din Djarin will die. I don't think Filoni or Favreau are that risky. And I don't think any IG droids are dying either. And I don't think the armor is a spy. My mind has been changed by one and only element. So,
all right.
I would like to also point out with that, Pep, that you did change most of this group chat's mind. That there was at least three of us on one side of that fence, and then absolutely jumped back right over.
So you guys heard it here first. So even though they've changed their mind, we can still make fun of them for their previous position.
If we're wrong, technically it means that Pep is like 6 times more wrong. So that's
no, because I have a last minute change to mine too, but we'll get to that.
Oh
damn!
Okay.
If you say he's the spy, I'm gonna be so mad.
How about you, Tate?
All right. I am Star Wars Fact Guy. You can find me on TikTok at Star Wars Fact Guy. That's not facts. That is fact. I only know one single Star Wars fact. Don't get that confused. After rigorous persuasion and convincing, I don't think the armorer is going to be a traitor. I have to shoot for my number one Glub Shadow, though. I don't think Axe is the traitor either. I think he's got that sense of pride awakened in him. I definitely think Skinny Pete is the traitor. I think Skinny Pete Mandalorian's definitely got something suspicious going on. I think Gideon is going to get Skinny Pete Mandalorian, man. I think Gideon is going to get folded like a deck chair by the end of it. And I think I am hoping that they save Thrawn for the Ahsoka show. I think it'll be more impactful if he shows up there first. But I definitely think he's going to hop on the Zoom call and be like, what the heck's going on? Come on, third time you're losing in a season finale? Like step it up.
Rob has been watching the show. He's like, I didn't watch Book of Boba Fett either. Why is he here? Or is there like...
They all hop on the company Zoom call and they're like, oh my God, this guy.
Can you stop fucking up, Gideon?
Hello.
Get his ass handed to him.
Last but not least, we have Pep. What is your addendum? How you feeling?
I'm feeling like I agree with Tate that Thrawn might not show up until Ahsoka. So there's one thing that has been kind of annoying me, and that's we still don't know who IG's client was. And I'm thinking IG in the state that they're in right now could still potentially be a spy. Could potentially be transmitting a lot of things.
Shit.
And in terms of changing Thrawn around, I think the people who are going to save Bo are the people over in Cronist. Clan Ren is going to show up, and I think Bo secretly called them as part of their united front. She called the privateers, and and then there's the covert. She called Clan Ren as well, and I think we're gonna get Sabine instead of Thrawn.
I'm just gonna say this now. If we see Sabine, I will be on my knees.
I'm gonna go.
As you should.
Well, okay, well, we need to see that, sir.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
Camera.
Me on my knees. I will
That's-
angle the camera.
Angle the
that
camera,
see.
sir. Make sure, please.
All right, I love it. Well, without further ado, let's jump
About you,
into it.
Choco.
Let's go.
I mean,
oh yes.
I've been saying X Wolves is the traitor from the beginning. However, the previous episode was named Spies, plural. So you know, it's I argue that the group of Mandalorians, I mean, I feel it's obvious the group of Mandalorians that were just roaming around on the planet would probably notice you know,
A
building a
giant-
facility and all that stuff. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, they're gonna be
Nah,
attacking
never
that
came up.
fleet,
Leave X
so-
out of it, man. Leave X out of it.
Axe
See,
is
I know
just
Tate loves Axe Wolves,
Axe
which
is
is why I'm really
conveniently
hoping for
left. Like, oh,
Casca.
let me go get help.
I mean, also, where the hell was Casca?
The
in that? 'Cause
horn
I
was the
didn't see her.
funniest argument.
Casca
oh,
was
they
out
have
doing
horns.
spy stuff.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
telling
they
you.
have horns.
The spy is
horns.
Trapper
Oh my
Wolf.
God, the horns.
No, I'm
The
kidding.
Yes.
spy is Gideon himself.
The spy
He
is
pulls a
Funhouse.
Hux and he's like, "I'm the
Actually,
spy."
I'm the
Who
spy.
said that?
What did Sue say? Where it's like Gideon is a spy for the Empire in like
That
the
is
known
true.
regions compared to all of
Like
them
he-
gathering in the unknown regions.
Yeah,
So-
like he's
Yeah,
a triple
this is true.
agent.
Quick thing,
Yeah,
I
but
would
Gideon's
be
out
okay
for
with
himself.
this if Carson Teva showed up and helped.
I want Carson Teva in every episode of the show.
That's
so
same.
I'm
I
I
love
want Carson Teva to have his own
He's the
show.
best.
Carson Teva arrives, the show's over.
The
That's
New
it. It's
Republic
done.
show just should have been the Carson Teva show.
I'm
I
pretty
will
sure
be
that's
there,
exactly
I
what it
agree.
is, what it was going to be. Like,
Well,
I feel
I-
pretty confident it would have been Kara doing those things had, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And honestly, Carson makes a lot of sense. And it
We
like
needed more
fits-
Asian representation anyway.
That's
Exactly.
also
Yes.
And Appa
Carson
from
is my
Cute
dude.
Convenience is the king.
Kim's convenience. I love it. All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, baby, let's
Here
go.
we go.
And we're attempting your own experiments on Navarro.
Experiments.
The creation of clones is your obsession.
Lady Bo-Katan.
Lady
This
Bo-Katan.
song is not
Yeah,
over.
surfing space while freaking being a badass.
for the fleet and get us reinforcement! There's a split in the ceiling there.
Oh, see, the IG was there. Fucking IG
Was
was,
he?
there. Sorry, my language,
Club
but I was just really
Club
happy.
Keegan Clutch.
Good.
Listen, I will take it. That's the only one I will accept.
Shit. He was
Straight into it.
Straight into it.
Literally.
I copy.
oh shit,
Let's
Axe.
go.
Imagine if he just runs out of fuel and falls
I know.
to his death.
He's gonna get struck by lightning or something.
I mean, he is wearing all metal.
Use the capital ship as a decoy. We can't beat them in the air. We have to beat them on the ground.
Understood. I'm entering upper atmosphere, but I
Axe?
have
Oh my
orders.
god.
I'll return when...
I got a bad feeling about this, man.
I was
I got
gonna
a feeling.
say.
You guys are about to lock me out the room, man. This is not good.
God damn.
This is not good.
Sir, do we need to hold a ceremony after this?
We might.
I might need a sigil. I might need
Are
a
they
sigil.
able to jetpack all the way to space?
Like,
I mean,
considering
listen,
the
they-
range they had when chasing the bird
They made
thing,
it, I was about to say they
That's-
made a pretty
yeah.
clear indication that
Oh,
they
there's
can't
Casca.
chase birds.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice, good job.
Oh
Oh,
shit,
Oh,
then.
Oh, no, no,
Oh
no,
my
no,
god.
no, no, no.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
All right, rip off the helmet.
Oh well, that's
Oh, I like the
subtitle.
POV.
I was gonna
I like
say
the
that's a
POV.
subtitle that people are gonna latch on to.
The man-
Yep.
Oh,
damn,
go
man.
then. Let's go, baby.
For
Oh,
my
snap.
son.
For my boy.
For my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
He is so lucky he has pure best.
Oh, he's doing perfect events.
Let's go, Grogu.
Oh,
That
It's
is
half a
nuts.
win.
Oh, hey, it still has a back to spray too.
This will never
Oh
end.
my god. I need you to be a brave boy.
gonna happen?
Ah,
if I don't get Grogu inside of IG in Battlefront 3, I'll be pissed.
Listen,
Wait, hold on.
we
Hold
don't
on,
get-
never
hold on,
happened.
hold on.
if we
Hold on,
don't
hold
What is this called?
what is it called?
The return.
Return
Whose return?
Oh,
of the Jedi.
Grand Admiral.
Thrawn.
Return of Thrawn.
The
Thrawn.
sexy blue
Palpatine
man.
somehow
Wrong.
return.
Sexy blue man.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Is that Palpatine?
Can you imagine?
Received. Where are you?
I would die on
Oh, shit.
camera.
Escaped. I've got the kid.
Fucking spy then. Why are they all acting all cool right now? Sorry, I
The
didn't
real
mean to
spy
curse.
were the friends we made along the way.
Their capital ship will soon be destroyed.
But the Mandalorian has escaped.
I mean,
Already.
I like how Grogu's a green dot.
I was about to say, I like how he color coordinated.
No, I'll take care of him myself.
Damn.
Ooh.
he
Oh,
looks
that
fire
was
in
sexy.
suit, man.
that was
so
sexy.
shit there.
Oh my
All I
God.
care about is if they're gonna do that, then they better just take R5 next. Take
Look at
R5.
R5.
What is with your droid prejudice in that case?
Listen, at that point,
Yeah,
at that
Din
point,
was
just
like,
go
I need
for
you,
it.
buddy. Gotta get that USB
He's
port.
adorable.
Plug in.
Plug in, baby.
Plug in.
Wasn't he safer in Little Egg? I'm just
I
saying.
feel like he would have been.
He
He's
was.
less lethal in the egg.
he was lethal.
Listen,
He
he
still has
still
the
managed.
Force, though.
Man, he ate
doesn't have
so
the-
many
Yeah, but
babies.
he'd like knock himself out.
Not true.
Proceed.
Oh shit.
So they can fly
Okay.
into the atmosphere.
So it's not Axe then?
I don't think it's
It's not
Axe.
Axe.
It's not
not
Axe.
I don't think it's Axe.
Not Axe.
Oh jeez, I
Nope.
can breathe. I can breathe.
Confirmed.
Oh no, no, no. Oh, jeez.
No, wait. Oh,
Oh,
no.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
no,
wait,
no.
You're too
Why?
hot
No.
to be a bit. Oh no.
Load everyone.
Oh,
onto the
no.
dropships. Go.
Nah.
Guys, my heart's going like 220 right now.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry, I don't
Okay,
trust
he's like
Axe.
he's looking.
That's done.
Oh
sauce.
man, this
right
isn't
now.
good.
No.
This isn't good.
Shit.
Folks, is love good.
Ah, that's so cool. Look at them.
Oh, this is fucking awesome. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I
This is
love it.
awesome. Holy shirt.
Holy
That is
shit.
so fucking hot, yo. That's
That
so
was
fire.
nice.
You get real life
Well, that's
jetpacks.
slick.
No, seriously.
Slick.
Damn it, Axe. Oh my God, Axe.
It is Axe. It has to be.
Damn it, Axe.
No, he's gonna draw them
That's
away.
He's gonna die.
Axe, I'm sorry I doubted you, my boy. Don't
No,
die.
you slept on the goat. You
You're
slept
too
on the goat.
hot.
This is
Don't
what
do
happened.
it.
You slept
So
on
it's
him.
Costa
You all
then. It
slept
has to
on
be
him.
Costa.
Put on your mask and run. Like,
He's doing a haul though. Shit, he's gonna sacrifice himself.
don't do it.
You all slept on
Axe,
him.
leave.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget this.
But you just need someone on the comms to hear.
They gotta make it sexy while dying.
Can't hold him.
You're gonna see the subtitles. Axe wounds run. Axe wounds run.
Axe grunts. Axe
Oh, this is gonna be badass.
Oh, let's go,
Yo,
baby.
okay then.
Then got a hallway scene.
Wait, this,
Oh no, this is
this
like
episode.
Gotta
Oh,
always see.
God,
this is
holy
episode 1. It's like the ratios.
I was gonna say, I love ratio.
I do like the
Oh, right at the throat.
Oh damn! But he couldn't.
He
get
lost the
back in
knife.
He
time.
wanted
He
the
lost the knife.
I love
He's
that.
like, fuck my knife.
Can opener.
Oh,
Did a freaking R2.
Why does this part of it feel like a robot should?
Yes, it does. Ooh, on his knees,
Oh.
baby.
Oh, that was
Nice.
sexy.
What was that?
Yes.
What was
my
that?
They did that for us.
bro really
My
thinks he's
ass
John
like
Wick
this
doing all
gonna-
these tricks.
R5.
Amen.
Good job,
God
buddy.
bless.
It's like Famiyu in action, man. It's just like matching.
Oh, we're gonna have Din Gideon part 2.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's got the
Oh,
army.
what?
Oh
Oh.
no. Oh no.
Okay,
no,
for a
no,
moment I
no.
thought that was like an old Dark Trooper.
Dude, we're gonna have Din and Gideon part 2 now.
Okay,
Oh
imagine
my
if
God,
Grogu
Rob,
just starts using the IG bot and just starts pushing the dead bodies into the holes.
Oh my God, that is dark.
What are you?
Oh, there we
Is
go.
that
Oh,
Gideon?
Those are
Clones?
Gideons.
Is it Gideon's?
Little Gideons.
Look like it.
Oh, Tate, what you said. He was gonna clone
Yeah.
himself.
No
He wants to
shit.
clone himself.
That's what I
Like
said.
that's a lot of Giancarlo
Jay,
Esposito.
that's what I
and I'm
said.
okay with it.
We said that last
we
week
talked
when he
about
said
that
when he
too,
said the
yeah.
best thing
In
about
group
the new
chat.
suit is that it has me in it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Oh
that's
my
why. I think that's
God.
why
That's
he
so
doesn't have the
horrifying.
mustache.
No, we were on the money, Kari. We were on the money. On
I think he was
Holy
successful because I think that he
This is
doesn't
terrifying.
have.
You don't
doesn't
remember
have a
my
mustache.
gaggle of Gideon's comment?
Gaggle of
we
Gideon.
got.
Oh my God, that is insane.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You have something I want.
You have.
Dude, he went full Palpatine. Holy crap.
This is Palpatine.
Oh, he's just blowing them up. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
Cross.
they have greenery.
Oscar.
Oh,
Wow.
I love that.
Finally, some green on this fucking show. Sorry.
Oh my God, that's
Nah.
hope.
Do you live
That's
here?
showing them hope. Oh my God.
Oh,
I'm gonna cry.
We were evil. We just thought these guys were.
Who's a betrayer?
I'm sorry, Space Pete.
Predators above and life persists.
it must be
Oh,
Casca.
yes, it does.
Life finds a way.
Gardens in the domed cities.
Nice.
Choco.
I never
Nice.
knew the surface could still sustain plant life.
Oh, they need
Ah,
Somehow
I love this
greenery
for
has
them.
returned.
This is so amazing.
Lady Creed,
Oh, shit.
your reinforcements have arrived.
Yay!
Oh, you.
Yay, it's not the armor, baby. Let's go.
Not that we know of yet.
They've been on a loop. They've been on a
Look at
loop.
them. Look at them.
Wait, we got.
Where did the pirate Mandalorians get fuel for their jetpacks then?
Oh,
She had one!
Oh.
Yes!
The squad dropping in.
Incredible.
Pure gold.
Fortnite.
Oh
Look
my
at
God.
God, what a freaking
Cinema.
scene. Look at this.
Cinema.
Look at the two lesbians together.
Did you see?
Yes, with the dark
Did you see where she
saber.
was grabbing that dark
Goes
I
saber
need to
from?
project it on my gravestone one day.
Oh my God, this is freaking amazing.
Project it on my gravestone one day.
I love it.
Coming in hot. They're coming in
This
hot.
is the sexiest thing I've ever seen.
This is this. Oh, that's the
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
Oh.
Oh, aerial
We're just
combat.
having a
is gonna be
string of
nuts.
orgasms right now. With
I was about to say.
Great
Guys,
Shema Ewa, man.
guys.
Oh,
this is
oh,
doing
oh, oh.
something to me.
They could
Oh my God.
Okay, she could at
She's
least
just a
have
melee
weapon.
jetpack. I love it.
I was about to say she could at least
Love
have a
it.
gun.
Oh,
Oh, never mind.
She's
I
a
can't-
God
dang.
Look at this.
This is incredible.
Oh,
She got the
This-
barbecue tongs and
this-
everything, man. That's crazy.
this is peak. This is peak.
You smothered them before they could draw their first breath.
My babies. You killed my babies.
You should have better protection for your special
Aim
talent.
for the head.
Oh.
Yeah, acting, bro.
You should have aimed for the head.
Maybe that's good. That's hard. He's gonna cry. Yeah, I think he is.
He's gonna crush the helmet, isn't he? Yeah.
I'd be okay.
Oh, shit.
No.
Can we also just say that I think the Praetorian guards come with a smoke machine?
Oh my God, he's saying no.
No, please, 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 please. No.
Grogu.
This force chokes all of them.
Grogu.
Oh no.
No. I'm gonna cry right now. Oh my
I
God.
am literally on the verge of tears. Can somebody assist Grogu? I'm begging.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now he's
damn. Oh.
he's
Knee
sleeping.
rock.
Jeez. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Keegan, are you okay?
I did not.
I felt that.
Come on, man. Grogu can do better than that,
Little
man.
frog, let's go, baby.
I'm just hearing it. That's why I'm going. My son is not ADD. He just like.
This fight goes raw, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. It's
You love pure head to head.
Damn.
dude. Oh! Yes!
Got this. Go save your
The
kid.
squad.
Yes! Oh, it's Bo against Gideon. I'm so hyped right now.
Bo-Katan Kryze.
Lady.
Oh,
Be this time.
lady.
A fight this time.
Or fight.
Gideon not gonna run away like a bitch this time.
Ooh.
Oh, he got
So
this.
sexy.
He's got a magna
damn.
card.
Daddy's home.
Oh, I love
Daddy's
it when they
home.
use it into a whip.
Daddy's home.
Daddy's home too.
Oh hell yeah,
Oh,
baby.
yes. There you go, baby.
Father and son.
Oh my God, they might kill off Bo.
Nah, he,
Oh.
Nah.
Oh.
They better not.
No.
No, he just force pulled it away from him.
You did good.
give it to Mando. That's his
You
new
did
weapon.
Yo, I got
good.
major God of War vibes during that fight.
Little head bob. I
No,
love when he
straight
does
up.
the head bob now. Oh my God. Axe.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Oh,
It's your
God.
fault.
Axe,
alive,
you
but we
get
haven't
the
seen the
fuck out of
body.
there.
Tate, I feel you, brother.
Not people
Axe,
alive.
can you get out?
Bo, come
that's
come
it.
in.
That's it. That's my goat.
I'm
That's
coming
my
in
goat.
hot. Clear everyone out. I'm gonna take out the base.
Oh shoot.
He's just
Oh.
he's pulling.
He did a Haldo. I told you he was doing a Haldo.
You better like exit somehow. Oh no! Oh hell no!
Oh! That's his decision.
No.
That's pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie.
I like that.
No, that was cool. That was cool. But no.
The dark saber is gone.
Oh, but
But it's not the dark saber that holds power, baby.
oh, you know what's gonna come. You know.
They
Damn,
told
that's
her that.
poetic.
Once they lose their trinkets.
Nope,
That is
definitely not.
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Yes.
Yeah. On your
Oh, let's go.
Mwah. Chef kiss.
That was beautiful.
Sorry, does
Axe,
he
better
have
get
a
out of there.
blaster?
I need Grogu to yeet him up into the air so that the ship
Yes.
hits him before the
Oh my
base.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Oh,
Yeah, baby.
You have a jetpack.
Hey,
You have a
hey,
jetpack.
Let's go.
Mother and fuck.
I told you, force field, baby. Oh my god, this is so fucking beautiful. Right?
I'm gonna actually cry.
Oh, it's their family photo. Like that, like as a Christmas
Yes, it
photo.
is.
I can see that hanging on the fridge.
You know someone's gonna paint this and it's gonna be beautiful.
Oh,
I
yeah.
will buy it. I will frame it.
Oh my
This is so beautiful.
Oh, girl,
He's
you
so
fucking
powerful.
beautiful little shit.
Look at this
Oh,
little
what
shit.
a great shot.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Somehow Gideon has returned.
Somehow, kid.
Is it a
Okay,
pass
I'll
out?
have
Is it?
I need frog eggs. Oh my god.
He is too young
Oh.
to speak, so he is too young.
Oh, is he gonna say it?
Okay.
He's
Is
50.
he gonna speak?
He must remain
Wait.
a foundling.
Part two.
Oh,
wait,
he's
wait,
got
wait.
all sad. Wait.
If his parent gave permission, couldn't he then become a Mandalorian apprentice?
Yes, but his parents are far from here, if they're even alive.
Are you kidding me? Is that gonna be the next Are they gonna find his parents?
Wait, what?
What?
Then I will adopt him.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry, this wasn't done earlier?
I was about to say, I felt like that was a part of the creed already.
What's happening?
Is the way.
This is the way. Oh my god.
I guess he had to add it to the song. I guess
Officially
That made it official.
adopted.
He had to sign the legal documents.
Added
Yeah,
that.
There he goes, official.
Oh,
Official. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Axe Wolves. That's it.
X
Say
Wolf's
you got your
gonna
boo, you got your
officiate
boo.
the wedding.
Tin
Ding,
Grogu!
Tin
Din
Grogu.
no fucking way. Didn't go.
So Dennis is his last name?
Leave man.
I guess. I guess it's like Chinese names.
So
where our
where's
last names are the
where's
first
Jaren?
character.
Where's Jaren now?
Grogu Jar? Anyone?
Grogu be Jaren.
He's gonna become Snack from Mythosaur.
Oh.
Be careful.
Oh, he sees the
No, I think he's
mythosaur.
gonna eat
Is it?
Mythosaur.
He's feeling
Is
the
it what-
mythosaur, isn't he? So there were no spies at all.
Nope. They were friends we made along the way.
And once again, the Star Wars fandom set ablaze over who's the spies. For there were no spies apparently.
No spies at all.
Wait,
Red
okay, no, for
herrings
once I thought that was the dark saber.
everywhere.
Oh, they're relighting the forge. Hell yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
That's awesome.
That goes hard.
The armor just got a hard on. Oh my god.
Like fire.
Didn't a little.
I mean, didn't we all?
For Mandalore!
Look at them.
Oh. I'm eating.
Eating a little pork crackling.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh no, I see.
Are you
Keegan,
good?
okay?
You
The
good?
disrespect.
Keegan, Keegan, are you
He is
okay?
right next to Imperial stormtroopers.
Somebody that I used to.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
This youngling
Oh.
is my apprentice.
What does that have to do with me?
Yeah.
A bounty hunter by trade.
I don't know. I'm having a good
yo,
time.
Creek has been
I also
missing
kinda
out.
hope they just
listen,
ended
listen.
here.
I'm glad everybody else is having a great time. Like, I've
Just
seen
seeing a
two-
severed
I've
head
seen
hanging above the
Grogu.
bar.
And they're all like, "This is fine."
Okay, we got another gift. Wait.
Wait, what's?
Oh,
There they are.
Oh,
There
Oh
he
my
is.
god.
no.
Oh my god,
He's
Keegan.
actually back.
He's a Marshall.
He's sexy.
Keegan!
Oh,
Keegan validation.
Keegan, are you crying?
I am anticipated and served at your pleasure.
Okay.
Oh, this is amazing.
And he has so
Are you
much more
vomiting,
acting range
Keegan?
than their last
I'm
Marshall.
okay.
Yes.
I've never
look,
seen
look,
someone
look.
happy puke, but okay.
Look at the crib.
Did they have a house together?
Did he
Yes,
pull a
look at
Thanos? Does he have a
You're
farm?
kidding me.
We
Okay,
have a
I
happy ending? Are you kidding
legit
me?
hope we
This is
never see the
insane.
Mandalorian again.
Are you serious? We have a happy ending.
Perfect.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Wrapped up.
But the plot armor was
Post-credit,
insane.
is there post-credit?
Yes.
I think that it's a really interesting thing. Like again, I think that obviously you can debate with the show. I think we were talking in in our private chats. Mando obviously caters to a certain type of Star Wars experience that's fantastic, and it's all about the fun of Star Wars. And it was really cool to see them find a way to have a cool, happy ending, and that was surprising. And I think that the only thing that will lessen that ending for me is if they don't let these characters rest. But I think they're going to let Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew take the next little bit of journey bridging that time. I just think it would be a mistake if they continue.
Well, I mean, the only narrative thread that still is dangling, well, the two narrative is we still don't quite know who hired IG to kill the child in the very beginning, but I feel like they just forgot about that.
I feel like I feel like it's just getting
and then we
was
have
trafficking?
Elias Kane
Okay,
is still being a spy doing their thing. We need to I'm curious if that will be broached, but I assume that entire network of Imperials working within the New Republic, because that was really big.
Yeah,
that
I
would need to be a whole nother show.
Well, that's going to be exactly. Well, Thrawn is already in Ahsoka, so we know that that's probably going to get touched on there, rather than. And we also got Skeleton Crew, which I don't think is going to tie in much into Thrawn, but I think it's probably going to be more just continual world building of what things are going to be. But I agree with you, Choco, and I think that that's kind of the only frustrating part about Favreau and the Filoni's writing a little bit is the idea that there are plot points that were set up that were again, I think the IG unit, that one makes sense because the whole thing was, I think the client was sending multiple bounty hunters. That was the whole point. It was I just needed it. The only thing that we don't know for me is why was Grogu abducted by pirates in the first place? What happened between Keller and Beck and the pirates?
That is a tale for another day.
That would be good.
100%.
You know what's going to happen? This is my elevator pitch, right? This is how, right? Filoni movie's going to open. Din's chilling there on his farm. He's got a little Grogu there. Ahsoka pulls up and looks at him. Ahsoka pulls up and says, there are dark forces rising. You need to hurry up. And then he's like, right, no problem. And then he will come out for a time.
It starts off with Ahsoka going up to Din and go somehow Gideon returned.
Somehow. And then Din,
oh my God.
And then Din just looking at him and saying, son of a bitch, I'm in.
Damn it.
Just go.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Son of a bitch.
In terms of continuing The Mandalorian, I do think just because we can't see the narrative through line doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And the timeline's still a huge gap.
Yeah.
To The Force Awakens.
That's true. Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of potential with the story. This stuff with Gideon, obviously, if they continue season 4 and Gideon's back, obviously that's just going to be low hanging fruit. But if they find a narrative thread to continue with Din and Grogu, then we'll see when it happens.
Ultimately, it would be. I don't think they'll touch the Mandalorians again until later on the movie or something. They're gonna be left alone right now to build their world or whatever.
Yeah, let them have
I would love to
anything,
see that. I would
continue with
honestly
anything.
love to see that.
You were celebrating before, sir.
Listen, we were celebrating the return of IG-12, which is half an IG, but we still got one. I mean, we literally this season have had 2 halves of an IG, and then we finally got a full one for 0.2 seconds in the end. So we'll take it. We'll take it.
IG-12 was just a Keurig. He didn't mean.
See what I'm saying?
IG-12 was a car. That's pretty much.
IG-12 was a car.
pop
And now
things in it to make it
IG-13
work.
is back to where we're at. Like IG-13.
I thought it was 11.
Yeah.
Still.
It was IG-11.
No,
I
he's,
mean,
he,
It was
it's
IG-11
11, yeah.
Corpse.
Somehow IG-11 returned.
Legit.
But like going to the point, I'm curious with you guys because like obviously we talk about like obviously like I think that there's a thing of Pep. We would always talk about this in the chat. The difference between like kind of whether it was the writing or things with this there. I'm just curious with everybody, like how did obviously season 3 kind of end fully for you guys? Like it, as your enjoyment of the show, like as taking all 3 seasons into account with this, how do you guys feel with the ending now and kind of just season 3 as a whole? I'm just curious.
All I'll say first and foremost,
that's a damn good question.
It ended peak for me, primarily because I was already on the train of accepting that it had turned into the Mandalorians versus the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And Din's arc and journey was contingent on the journey that the Mandalorians were taking, and once that journey was over, he's on his journey again, on his lonesome, on his on his cabin by the woods or something in Navarro. So that conflict with Bo-Katan and the armor and Mandalore, like things are finally settled. They're taking back the planet and they're regrowing the culture and stuff like that. Din can finally do what he's gonna do. So this ending, this culmination, brought everything full circle, like rather beautifully for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it ended on like the best note it could, and I am glad to see like an actual ending.
Yeah.
But I am kind of bummed because like, oh man, I was looking forward to more Din Djarin and stuff, but like the way it ended was perfect. That was great. Like he had a happy ending, sitting on his house watching his kid play with a frog. Like that was perfect.
Yes.
To me, the plot armor was insane. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The plot
I
armor was
agree.
insane. There's just no stakes anymore. Like I had genuine fear with Praetorian guards show up. I'm like, somebody major is gonna die. And like, don't get me wrong, I don't want characters to die, but it's like,
I like the potential to be there, like in the sense of
danger.
Like that, like there's a difference with it. Like, and Jay, I think that like obviously, I think the Game of Thrones aspect is kind of like it's an interesting thing where it's more. It just depends on the world that you're setting up, right?
Right,
Like,
yeah, and I get
like as you're talking about, where for me, I like the world where I feel genuine fear. I did not get that from this season. That's just not what they wanted to give us necessarily. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. That's just
fine,
not what
right,
they
yeah.
wanted to do.
Right.
I prefer that in my storytelling. That doesn't mean that they were wrong for not doing it, but I would have loved there to be some consequence. Like I would have loved, other than, because to me, there's a difference in writing of saying it is like important, for lack of a better phrase. Like if I tell you something's important, but you don't feel it's important, then it's like it doesn't matter how many times I tell you it's important.
I don't want Game of Thrones to be sort of the threshold of storytelling in terms of risk taking, characters being killed off, sense of danger. I don't think that's the case here. But like even kids shows like Star Wars, there should be some sense of danger.
Well, I mean,
I actually think there was. I genuinely feared for Din, Bo, and Grogu this episode.
That's true. I mean, we all did. I mean, you can play the tape.
Not dying, but
True,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
like, I did fear for their for either one of their lives.
It reminds me of, not to interrupt you, so sorry, just going to get this one thought in. It reminded me of with Bad Batch, Naf and I talked about it, and Naf brought up something. I'm going to bring it back always to Bad Batch. Naf will always bring it. Naf will always bring it back to Last Jedi. I will always bring it back to Bad Batch. And it would be like, and it was a moment of like we genuinely felt like that. I think, but at that time with that finale, they actually did, and I felt like that was the boldest. It wasn't the most surprising, but it was the boldest thing they could do. And I think that's the difference with this one. Was I was like they went for the surprise that no one dies. and which we all kind of thought, okay, probably if they're going to do it, now's the time.
Somebody's gonna die. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that was the boldest choice they could have gone with, but it certainly was the most surprising.
There was a trap that I was in for such a long time where I thought, like, if you wanted something to be emotionally resonant in a story, someone had to die, because there's nothing more emotionally staggering than death itself. But I think when it comes to the narrative, and you guys know me, I give Favreau and Filoni so much shit, but honestly, I think the decision to kind of keep this as just a neat and tidy, wrapped in a little bow, kind of simple ending where the emotional gravity doesn't come from like the big shocks or the twist, but just the satisfaction of so much arc conclusion that has been building up. Even if you disagree with kind of the way the writing's been, and Lord knows I have, we got those moments that we've been waiting for long in the show. And the payoff from that just honestly sold it for me. Seeing Din able to settle down and be happy.
That was
going from Clone Wars.
That was surprising.
And seeing the destruction of the Darksaber too.
Bo's journey has been so incredible, and we love roasting how they can't write women, but this is a fairly well done female character. And honestly, Bo taking the vehicle of the season and becoming the head and the face of the season has been an astronomical choice. And I think they paid it off perfectly. I mean, I'm getting flamed in like 3 group chats now for liking this episode, but honestly, this ticked all the boxes for me. As someone who was not a fan of season 2, and as someone who's been a bit on the fence of season 3, I thought this episode and the last one, perfect. I truly, I don't know what more I could have wanted. I thought it was great.
Character death was essentially the Darksaber.
Oh,
true.
I really hope that it stays that way and it doesn't show up somewhere with like a Band-Aid on it.
I was just gonna say that.
Like a little bit like in Rise of Skywalker.
I just think of Thor, of Thor Love and Thunder when they had that on display in pieces. Like, okay, do that, but don't go any further. Just leave it.
One thing I was surprised about in the last episode that they didn't do was when he was tied up, that they didn't remove the helmet, especially as how, if Gideon knows so much about the culture, how disrespectful that act is.
Yeah, right.
I thought that it would be such a powerful moment for him as a villain to just take the helmet off, because it's like, has your helmet ever been removed by others is one of the big things.
Yeah. It never has been removed by others, just him.
I do think really quickly, and I'll let Johnny and Kari go. I do think something can be said about the nature of emotional gravity as it pertains to you guys saying stakes, people in peril, or consequences. I think there's so much of that inversely going on that we couldn't have ended with any of that. I think with the Night of 1,000 Tears, the planet of Mandalore already on the brink of rapture, that the emotional stakes and the power of this episode is seeing the green, is seeing the life rather than the death.
We agree.
Okay.
And that was a very gripping moment for me.
I just would have argued that like and I agree with you. I think that that's a very good point. I just think that it comes down to some degree, it's like when we're talking about the lore versus the story. Like the lore, I agree with. Like the lore, absolutely, the Mandalore has been ravaged by war, and yes, we've seen it, and then they did a good job of talking about it. And maybe it's just one of those things where now knowing where the season's going, I just need to rewatch all of season 3, and maybe my point of view will differ. Knowing the story, knowing the ending that they were going for. But I do feel that it was like the story. I agree with you, Pep. I just wish they would remind us in a show, not always just telling about that portion. And maybe it's because I just know the lore that those moments weren't as impactful for me. It's like, okay, yeah, I do know that this happened. I didn't learn anything new, but you have a really good point there that I think that you're absolutely right that it was better to end on hope for Mandalore rather than, let's just make it even more punching you in the gut, punching you down.
Yeah.
And that's even to the point of having nobody betraying anybody, where it wasn't Mandalorians fighting other Mandalorians that way. it was that. So I'm curious, but Kari John, I'm very curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are.
Kari, go first. I'm curious to see what you have to say more than me, honestly.
No, I mean, honestly, you guys have said everything that I agree with everything. I think that it was for a Star Wars ending, because we are always dreading the worst. It was surprising that we, that's like, it's a Star Wars thing. We always make fun, right? That we actually got an ending that was not death, destruction, chaos and sadness all the time. I think that scene, like Pep said, that green, I actually teared up when I saw the greenery in Mandalore. Like that gave me so much hope, like for the Mandalorians. I felt that happiness for the Mandalorians. Like, oh my God, they see hope. They feel the hope that they're gonna be able to rebuild their world, and that just gave them that extra battery that they needed to just like keep fighting and keep going. And that gave me that battery and hype and stuff. So that I felt that. Only because I'm a very emotional person, but I love that it's part of the lore, and I'm a sucker for lore. So that was amazing for me.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that they destroyed the Darksaber, super surprising point.
Yeah.
And they did it as a symbolic gesture that you know what, it's not in a piece of a trinket. It's actually in them. Like the whole power of being a Mandalorian and being a Mandalore is with them. Has nothing to do with who's holding what. Even with the Mythosaur, there was no, it wasn't for anything. Mythosaur is just there, as a symbol of what was before, what their beliefs are, but it doesn't have to be something that is, that they have to adhere to in the present. They can make their own way now and their destiny, in that way. So I really loved it.
Very well
said.
Beautifully said.
Yeah, no, I genuinely, my biggest thing from this episode and just overall now as a season is definitely the Darksaber aspect, because I still remember like at the end of season 1 when you see Moff Gideon pop out of that TIE fighter and he's holding the Darksaber, and like for a lot of people who didn't watch Clone Wars, people went fucking batshit.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
That was wild.
And then over that period of time, a lot of people really did put a lot of meaning into the Darksaber. They gave us this immaculate object, almost like the Skywalker Legacy lightsaber, right?
No, you're right.
So to see this destruction now, it genuinely brings me back to Last Jedi here. And now let's just see if they'll have actually backpedal on it.
Have the balls to actually stick with it, yeah.
Right?
I really hope they don't.
It's a critique on the fans, honestly, in the sense that we've become so obsessed with all the videos on like, oh my gosh, who actually owns the Darksaber?
Right?
And I mean,
I've never seen a bunch of that.
Yeah, we were so privy to it. I was privy to it as well. I was the one who was like, oh my gosh, didn't give Bo the saber on a technicality. He hand waved it around, but at the end of the day, the act of destroying the Darksaber itself was. In a sense, it was a critique.
It never mattered.
Like, this object really does that. You give it more importance as an audience member than it is.
Than what it is.
I think Pep said something along the lines of this a couple days ago, and he's smiling because he's dead right about it.
A sly look on your face every time.
The vindication. No, absolutely.
Mother trucker.
Look at him grinning.
But even to the point, like Tate, you also like, I mean, you have the line, one of my favorite lines in honestly in the entire show is Moff Gideon in season 2 saying, oh no, it doesn't work like that. The saber doesn't have power, the story does.
Yeah.
And that's always been what the Darksaber is about, is that's always the line that stuck with me, is I'm like, it's the point isn't who wields it. Anybody, in theory, can pick it up and wave it around. Yeah. The point isn't that. The point is, what are people going to say about how you got it?
It's one of the reasons why I came to the conclusion that I did, was when everyone was talking about how quote unquote dumb it was that she got the Darksaber back via that way. And I said, well, just like you just mentioned, it's the story that has power. So it doesn't really matter how she got it back or whether you think it's dumb. It matters to Din. That's Din's story. And when he got saved by Bo from that crabfish guy thing, it's what mattered to him. And so that was his reason to give it back to Bo. And it was all that they needed to hear to serve Bo with the Darksaber. And there was no like elaborate kind of like chain of witnesses that needed to exist. Like Axe didn't need to see Bo win it from this person and like kind of have the same kind of have the same discussion that we did. Like, you know, it's like if he gave the Darksaber back to Bo, gave that reason, Axe was like, well, I think Maul had it first, and then like they went through this whole thing about it, then it would be equally silly, right? So the story that Din gave was just as important as the story that we give to the Darksaber's provenance with other owners.
Yeah, it's the story. The story.
Well, and I also want to just really touch on something Kari just said that was very impactful to me. That like I was also very impressed with restraint, because you know, like again, as much as you said, Tate, we give Favreau and Filoni some a fair amount of grief, and you know things like that about the stuff they do. You got to give credit where credit is due. I think that it would have been very easy for them to pull a Book of Boba Fett Rancor situation with the Mythosaur, bringing that out and have it like kill Gideon or something. Like you could have easily had that. But what I loved about it, it was something that one of the things this season that I unequivocally say was an absolute brilliant masterstroke was the inclusion of the Mythosaur and what that did for Bo's hope. Almost an homage to the first episode and having, you know, the Mythosaur pop out of the water and being like really questioning Mandalorians, being like, man, we should really check these waters before we just start bathing in them. But like, you know, maybe
if the armor walked into it and then she sank.
Yeah, they're just like, damn it, this one too. Like, you know, like, come on. And so, but like, it's just a thing that I felt that really impressed me, that they let it be almost just like a mythic secret rather than a set piece.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is unusual. Like you said, after Boba Fett, you would have expected like Bo riding Mythosaur in this like raw moment.
Yeah.
And
I was like, yes, Bo riding.
We all like that.
And I think that's the problem. Sometimes I personally get caught up in a lot of these theories and speculation. Who's gonna die? Who's a spy? Who is this? It sort of takes me out when I'm watching it. So I'm definitely looking forward to rewatching this whole thing. But I'll say one thing: how busy this episode was. It was shockingly simple and self-contained.
Oh yeah.
I credit to Filoni and Favreau
shockingly well paced.
Yes, that's exactly right. With how fast it was going, even though you didn't have time to like pause in between to react with characters, it was still really well paced and shockingly contained.
Like even
it tied everything it was building, like all this time it tied it all together, which
I like.
Makes sense.
Like yeah, exactly as you said. Like Pep, it's like it's one of those things that also like I walked out like do I not think season 3 by far not my favorite of the 3 seasons. However, again, credit where credit's due. This finale works for me.
But I just wanted to say, before I hand it off to everyone else for their final thoughts and to wrap this episode up, my favorite part of this episode is Armor and Bo flying in
the air?
and Kari saying, "Look at these two lesbians."
I love that moment.
Lesbians.
Clip that.
That's a flippable moment right there.
That is it. That's gonna be a reel tomorrow. Is like
my FYP shall be blessed.
No, legit. Like we're now gonna have a TikTok sound of Kari just going, "Look at these two lesbians."
Look at these two lesbians.
It's going viral. It's going
We're gonna paste it over so many things.
I will
paste
use
it over like Pat Marvel with.
Oh my god, there's gonna be an audio. Look at these two lesbians.
All right, starting from Johnny and then Johnny all the way down. Final thoughts in the episode.
Okay. Final thoughts. I'm very shocked by how well they wrapped it up, and I feel like a highlight of this episode for me, having to harken back to it, is definitely the destruction of the Darksaber. Genuinely, that's just a standout moment. I love it, and I respect Favreau and Filoni so much for actually making that decision.
Awesome, Keegan.
Well, like I said, I really was skeptical going into this finale, but the more that we've talked about it and sharing it with you guys, I think that it all wrapped up. That last shot is just iconic. I think that will remain one of my favorite shots in Star Wars. Is just of them just sitting there. And my boy came back. My boy Blue. Well, I guess my boy Red is now here. And so, as an IG stan and as a fighter for droids' rights, I do have to say that seeing that Din have respect for getting that IG head off of the wall of some Imperial or some Republic. They're supposed to be good, but they're just really showing Imperial tendencies with putting droid heads on the wall. But sorry, getting confused here. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox. But like having that. But I think honestly, one of my highlights will just be hearing everybody go, "Oh, it's Axe, it's Axe, it's Axe," and then going backing out on it and just hearing Tate from the background going, "Y'all don't deserve him," and just going,
absolute highlight,
just going. Oh, so now I loved his line of just going. So now you're on his side. And just
for the record, Tate, I was on your side.
David, what's going on, man?
I just want to say to Axe Wolves, I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game.
He had that riz, man.
No, I was really happy that like pretty much all of the outlandish theories were completely wrong, and I was genuinely shocked when the Darksaber got crushed.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Risky, bold move, Cotton. Loved it.
Bold move, Cotton.
Let's see if it pays off.
Let's see if it pays off.
Kari.
The movie is just Citizen Kane.
All right, guys. Final thoughts. Again, like everybody else, I absolutely love that they surprised us with not, giving us what we thought was gonna happen. Not giving us death, chaos, and destruction, but hope, which is what Star Wars is. They gave us hope. So this episode was amazing for me for that. So yeah.
Awesome. Tate.
Man, as someone who is not Favreau and Filoni's main shooter all the time, as someone who has very vocal and strong opinions on The Mandalorian as a whole, he says, as he has an entire figurine shelf full of them, I think this episode was
hilarious.
I think it was a very fitting conclusion for the story that they've been telling since 2019 and all those arcs that are relating to Mandalore. It ticked my boxes for wanting to see more of that side of the story. I didn't need Thrawn. I didn't need Sabine. I didn't need none of that. I got everything I needed. I got Gideon resolution. I got Bo resolution, armor resolution. Axe Woves was not the traitor. I felt so good about that. I could breathe. Honestly, I thought it was a fantastic finale. I'm going to gauge the reactions and see, but from what I'm understanding, everyone is really content with this being the end. And I really hope they do not pull a Book of Boba Fett and they just let these characters breathe for a good long time before they touch them again.
I don't need a season 4 for sure.
I think one of the things in Star Wars that really strikes me emotionally is deserved peace and deserved rest. And I hope these characters get that and it's allowed to be felt with the audience and they can earn that peace and they don't have to snap out of it, snap into action. We've got a couple of years before the Filoni movie, before the dark forces start rising. So overall, I'm tickled pink, man. I'm really happy.
Tickled pink. JJ.
Tickled pink.
I like that. I'll just keep it short. My favorite moment of this episode was Grogu using Force to protect Din. Bo-Katan, the fire, the family portraits. It was very
I sent you guys a family portrait.
Yeah,
I got that
Christmas photo, and I loved it. And once again, this episode is proof, at least for me, not to engage in severe speculation because it really takes me out. So I will mind myself. I will temper myself. I will try to take it as it is instead of just getting caught up in the emotions and getting caught up in the fandom. So
I will say it was fun to speculate with each other.
Correct.
Yeah,
it's when you get stuck on the pipeline on the internet.
That's
crazy.
That's different.
That is a whole, and that's what I did, and that was a huge mistake. I'm like, the whole time I'm dreading, Din's gonna die, Bo-Katan's gonna die. I'm like, I could feel heaviness on my chest, and I'm like, is Dave Filoni gonna be that risky? But you know
Yeah.
what he did with Darksaber proves him that he can't take risks. Let's just hope he
Yes.
sticks with it. Just stay with it.
Yes.
Commit.
Mitigated risks.
Don't bring it
Let's
back.
let's not call it what it is.
Very
Mitigated,
safe
but
risk.
mitigated.
But like
one final thing.
Mandalore, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
One final
I-
thing that I want to say too that we did say in the chat was that I'm happy that they didn't bring any outside forces to help them out.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
They did it all on
They
their
solved their own problem.
Chaco said that.
Problem.
I heard Chaco say that.
Yeah, he
Chaco was
tweeted
the one
about
that
it.
said it, that he didn't want
Love
that.
it. Love
And
it.
I
Love
was
it. Love it.
like,
Love it.
I
Love it.
love it. We didn't have to have a Thrawn cameo, a Sabine cameo, nothing. It was just them, and we got that same excitement.
Shout out to
both on-
Choco
yep.
for skipping out on
Yes.
his own
Shout out to Chuck.
own video.
Victory
We
lap.
miss you, Chaco.
That is on Victory Lab.
Where's Chaco?
Where's Chaco?
Where's
Why
Choco?
is it Choco?
Where's Johnny?
Where's Choco? Bail.
But thank you guys so much for making this an actual watch party. Made this episode one hell of a finale and reaction. Follow these guys. I'm gonna put all of their stuff in the description below if you're not following them already, and like and subscribe for more videos. But that's it. On to the next one. As I do this myself, the Force will be with you always, but we are all the dyad. See you guys next time.
IG lives.
IG lives.
Look at these two lesbians.